Welcome into the Wednesday edition of Let's Talk About It. Joined by my lovely guest, Jeff, who, lo and behold, is matching me again.
Yeah, because it's not like we have the same clothes from the same company.
No,
Bleacher Report
it's
apparel.
a thing. It's a thing. Like
I
you're like
promise you.
trying to be like me.
No, I promise you, I was like, she's not gonna wear anything BR because you wore BR yesterday, so I'm safe. And now
I
here
did.
you go. Here you
And
go.
full disclosure, so I just flew in from Oakland this morning from being at Steph Curry's Curry 6 first look at the shoe event.
Like.
And I was wearing the same hoodie that I was wearing. So when I got here, luckily there was a new hoodie at my desk and I just threw it on because I didn't want to repeat. But
Like a whole I was gonna wear mine too, but I figured you'd wear that one. So
oh yeah,
we're not
I'm
doing
team like wear the same thing 2 days in a row for sure.
that. Oh yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean like it's a must.
You're gonna get this fit 7 days a week. I don't care. Y'all buy me clothes if you want me to wear different stuff.
Exactly. But Oakland was so much fun. Did you see Curry's new shoes? The Curry
Oh yeah,
6s?
yeah, they look fire. I like
You
them.
liked
Like the as the versions have been going,
Mm-hmm.
I've liked them more and more. And this one, it has a different feel. I
Yeah.
like them. I would rock them.
I will say his shoes have genuinely gotten better each time. And you see like, more of his personality in the shoes and you see that he's trying to evolve with the shoes. And I've been to a lot of these things where like basketball players are talking about the shoes they made, talking about the technology in the shoe, but he really cares and like really is heavily involved in the process of that shoe and the intricacies. So it was cool to hear him talk about it. So I want to know what you guys think of the Curry 6. Leave comments. Did you like the colorway? You buying it? Are they comfortable? And also, what's your favorite hooping shoe? I'm not a hooper. I just know which ones I think look the best aesthetically. But if you had to pick a hooping shoe.
I would say the Melo, the M5. When
Okay.
we had Terminal 23 over here in New York, I wore them because you had to wear Jordan brand sneakers, and I wore them, and they were the most comfortable sneaker I've ever worn in my life.
Really?
To play basketball, not for fashion or lifestyle, just to play basketball. I felt like I was wearing clouds, like literal clouds.
Really?
They felt so good.
I hear people say they like the Kyries a lot too.
I need to try them because,
Yeah.
like, for support, for just like it felt effortless. You know what I mean?
Omri Kelly says the Kobe 8s.
I've heard.
Oh yeah, see, take some home, says my favorite hooper. As a hooper shoe, I think he means is the Kyrie 4. Yeah, I hear that a lot
See,
about.
the Kobe's, I'm a little funny because they're low cut. Now, I'm
Mm-hmm.
from the era where you wear like mid cut because I'm scared that I'll turn my
Yeah.
ankles. So, but I've heard like they're made like in the soccer vein, like with
Okay.
the soccer with that type of movement in mind. So I would have to get mentally out of that state to not be scared to twist my ankle.
Yeah, but for
I've heard a lot
Melo,
of
it makes you
Oh, yeah,
feel like
yeah.
you got clouds on your feet.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of clouds, let's go up, go up in
Past
the
the clouds.
atmosphere. Steph Curry also believes that we have not landed on the moon.
That's a big secret to keep. 40 something years, all these people, that's
But what do you think of him saying that? Like, what do you think of athletes that then have this kind of what you would maybe consider outlandish idea about science? I'm not trying to stir the pot. I'm not saying that I think that they haven't landed on the moon, but in Curry's defense and also Kyrie's defense, everything that we know because we have learned.
right.
So, we think they've been on the moon because throughout school we've been told they've been on the moon, we've been shown photos, and they say, okay, you've been on the moon. But if throughout school we learn we hadn't been on the moon, we think we hadn't been on the moon.
Right.
Like, do you know what I'm saying?
No.
I'm not saying what Curry said is true, but I'm also saying that, like, we believe it because somebody else said it was true.
Right. I think it's fun for them to troll the media. I think it's fun to get on their skin and throw out some outlandish statement that they know it's gonna go viral. There's no way he said that and thought
He
it's
was
gonna
nervous,
slide.
though.
Why?
He was like, we're kind of starting something, so I'm not trying to get into
Right.
conspiracy theorists.
So in his defense with conspiracy theories, I remember learning in school
Yeah.
that FDR, when he had polio or he had some type of sickness where there was one time where he collapsed. And I'm sure it's FDR, but one of our presidents that at the height of like World War II or whatever, the media saw it and they didn't release it because they didn't want the US to have that vision of a weak president. Right? But we found out that they did that years later. We haven't found out anything years later that the moon landing was a hoax. So the
Yeah.
fact that with all this technology, all this communication, we find out so WikiLeaks, the existence of WikiLeaks and Google and everything and all these conspiracy theorists, and we haven't heard anything debunking the moon landing.
But unless they think It did happen. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
And they don't
maybe
wanna
most
investigate
people
it?
do. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I can't like speak on it. But wait, okay. Someone is saying Steph Curry is right. Big Cliff says they're trying to get attention. Omri Kelly again chiming in says, my thing is it doesn't change the way we live or affects our everyday life, so it doesn't really matter in my opinion.
That's out of sight, out of mind. Ignorance is bliss.
But I want to know if we went on the moon or not. I mean, I'm inclined to say yes, we did.
But we haven't been back, have we?
No, and I think
nobody
that's
else-
weird.
has
Like, why
anybody else
haven't we
gone?
been back? And then I have actually read about the moon stuff before Curry was saying it. They say allegedly, like there's no wind on the moon, so why is the flag in the air? There's different lighting sources in the photos. Like, there's a lot of things that people say about the moon landing that seems,
I mean, I'd love for it to go back one day, just so that everybody could say whether or not it's true
Yeah.
and just to debunk it. Because, like, I have a hard time with science when science proves certain things that people just want to go the other way just to say what if. Like, there's certain
Yeah.
things, like that whole flat earth thing last year, it was, at some point I was like, all right, guys, there's been millennia worth of information. Like, come on. Like if you sit down with conspiracy, like, the barbershop is the worst place to do this, by the way, but if you sit down with people who will go into the YouTube rabbit holes, after a while you get mad at yourself because it starts to sway you a little.
Yeah, well, but this is the thing. The thing about science theories is the only people that can prove it or disprove it are scientists, which is why it gets murky. You know?
Right, because they develop the test and
Yes.
they develop everything.
So it's like, hey, how do we know? Not trying to feel the fire, but how do we know? I'm not saying Steph Curry's right, but he's entitled to his opinion. Like, people only think it's dumb that he said it because he plays a sport, which is ridiculous. You can have thoughts outside of basketball if you play basketball.
Right. I mean, some of the best inventions people stumbled upon, isn't that how penicillin was found? Like somebody knocked
at
over
this
something
guy.
onto something. I mean, that's something everyday people could
Yeah.
find out, and then it's proven to be fact.
Wait,
It's
hold
just,
on. Hot boy bullies. Do you believe they're building hotels on Mars?
I wouldn't believe anything against that. I'm sure they're scouting. Like, don't get me started on space. I'm sure somebody has that idea in mind already to get on Mars and get out before this world isn't viable anymore. Maybe a few generations from now.
Now, I don't want to get into this conversation because it's a totally different conversation, but there's 100 bazillion% aliens. Like, undoubtedly there's aliens.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. That's
Are
a
we,
big fact.
as everyone in the comments, are we in agreement that aliens exist?
There's gotta be.
If an athlete comes out and says that aliens exist, they are right, okay?
Oh,
And
that's gonna be the first. I'm like, it's a fact. I'm
Yes.
telling you.
Who is gonna be like the most likely to come out and be like, aliens exist, and I have also seen an alien? I
wow.
am an alien. What
Who would say
what
that?
athlete is most likely to do that?
LeBron? You think LeBron, Dakota? LeBron would say
But
it?
the thing is, if LeBron's out like I'm an alien, people are gonna be like, I may believe that.
Right. And that'll just be another thing for the Kobe stands to say why he's better. LeBron was an alien. Kobe's
It
the
doesn't
best
count.
human on
It
earth.
doesn't count. Okay, we're getting crazy in the comments. Juice Edmonds says, what about Antarctica? They say nobody's allowed to go there, and somebody released that there's like a whole new America down there.
Well, would it
Wait.
be America because it said Antarctica? Wait, hold
Hold on.
You mean a whole
Who
other
said
world?
that there's a whole
It's like
new...
the savage land is over there. We just don't know. People go to Antarctica. It's just I'm not going. You know what? Antarctica, I'll let you have that because I'm not going to Antarctica.
Wait, there's an Antarctica conspiracy theory.
There's a whole other America in Antarctica.
I'm sorry, I just was not expecting that.
I love y'all.
Wait,
though. I
side
love y'all.
note about Antarctica, did you know that it's a desert?
It's a frozen desert?
No, it's technically a desert because, like, deserts are classified by the amount of rainfall. And, like, so Antarctica is a desert because it doesn't
Because
get.
there's no rain.
That's cool, right?
It's yeah, I get
Fact
get
of
that.
the day.
Okay,
Yeah,
Professor Rooks.
there you go.
Okay. All right, I didn't know that. I learned something new every day.
All right, we have, I'm sorry.
we're off
The
the deep end
Antarctica
at this
come
point.
is tripping me out.
Wow.
We have spent too much time on this. It is now time to move on to Jimmy Butler,
Yeah.
who is another person just like living on urban legends right now. This whole practice has become, I don't even know. It's like a world of its own. It's a story that continues to evolve and new things are added. He recently said that he was playing with like the third stringers, he only made one basket, but he was dropping dimes, blocking, playing good defense, but he was still able to beat the other team when he didn't even really contribute offensively.
Hey, if Ice Cube said he dropped a triple-double in a pickup game, I'm sure Jimmy Butler will say that he scored one basket with third stringers and was able to.
You believe it?
You know what? I took a look, because I had to look this up, right? Their third string roster, Tyus Jones, Jared Terrell, James. Yo, these could be like actors, and I don't know who they are. Anthony Tolliver, Gorgie Dang, like these dudes, if he beat the starters with these people, Minnesota should just throw the whole team away. I don't care if it's practice. I don't care if it's outside in the park. I don't care if it's in Connect Four. I don't care if it's in spades. If he beat them with those guys in anything, then I believe the legend. I like a good hoop legend.
I need to see the film.
I need a good hoop legend.
It's not in my nature to just like believe stuff.
Right.
And I'm not saying that like Jimmy's lying. I'm just saying like, what were we playing to? What was the rotation?
Hey, a win is a win. If he beat, a win is a win. If they were playing to 11, if they were playing to 5, if you are the starters, you should be able to wax that third string team no matter what.
Yeah. The Timberwolves, though, honestly, they do have a lot of talent on that team, but just isn't meshing.
I hear you.
It just really isn't meshing. Here, hold on. We have a comment. Glazer Jake, will Jimmy stay in Philly, do you think, and will they win the East?
Because didn't he re-up? I thought he re-upped with them. Or is he still a free agent?
No. Jimmy's, after this season, he's free agent.
I can see him staying depending on how he likes it. It seems like that team is perfect for him in terms of they needed somebody to come in and say, we'll beat anybody, I don't care. Because you have Ben Simmons who handles his business, but he has that swag about him. You have Joel, who's the straight troll, and he's nice. And then Jimmy. It's just like, I feel like those three mesh well together.
Yeah.
And Philly's a dope sports city.
It is. Those fans
when
are
you're
like,
winning.
Yeah, because when you're
winning,
losing, it is a totally.
When you're winning.
Sorry, y'all. We have a Philly
Santa,
fan in the studio.
And if you're not Santa, it's a never forget. Never forget. My bad, Dakota. I'm just saying, you gotta be able to stick and move when you're Santa. You know what I'm saying?
The star from afar says Jimmy Butler believes he's a top 20 NBA franchise player, which means he's not. He's a toxic player. I think I disagree with that.
Jimmy Butler's top 20 in the NBA right
now.
But
I agree with that. I don't think he's a toxic player.
Nah. You know what it is? It's people are used to this friendly NBA where there's no antagonism between real animosity where I don't care who you are. If you're not on my team, you're against me. And Jimmy just has that mentality. He's cool. It's the same dude that was in Gabby Union's special.
Oh, yeah, the comments.
Dropping emoji eyes. You don't think this man is legit about what he is? He is who he says he is.
And even on the podcast, JJ Redick was like, it's hard to put you in a box. He's like, I will say it's hard to put you in a box. And Jimmy said, I agree. And he goes, JJ Redick said something about him being weird. And Jimmy was like, I'm not acting weird, I'm just weird. I don't think he's trying to be anything, that's just the way that he acts.
Yeah, normal is boring.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect anything less from Michael Jordan's son.
Right.
We talking theories, right?
He drives a minivan. Yeah, he drives a minivan.
Okay.
And not a
Is
really
it economical to drive a minivan? It saves gas?
I guess tries to live as frugal as possible. I had him on my podcast once. He was saying he drives a minivan. All he does is go to practice, and then he plays spades and he plays dominoes and
I think I would want to partner with Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
He seems like he's about it.
He says allegedly he's the best spades player in the NBA. Allegedly. But Dwayne Wade has also said that.
We might see All-Star Weekend, right? D Wade has his game. I don't want to see because if you be underbidding Jimmy, you're gonna get called out because you can't be on my team.
And no reneging.
No extra books. No extra books. Word up.
The star from afar says the Wolves have won 9 times since Butler's exit.
All right, and Philly won mad times too. I guess it's, sometimes breakups are mutually beneficial.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just, everything is about a situation, right? A player leaving a team doesn't necessarily mean that he is a bad player. He was just not for that situation. we can all agree Jimmy Butler's a great basketball player. He just wasn't fitting with the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
And now that situation maybe is better for Cat. And Robert Covington is also like
Oh yeah,
wrong
he's
for the
nice.
Timberwolves.
That
right
was
now.
a great pickup for them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, he's playing well. So it's all about situation, and he moved on to a different situation, and it's going well. We have to end on Shaq, Big Shaq, saying that his Lakers would easily beat the Warriors. Listen, I'm over like older players talking about beating the Warriors because like it doesn't matter. We're never gonna know.
No.
So like, are we just no player is gonna say my team would have lost.
Right.
So like having these conversations, I just don't even know how it keeps happening.
Well, we like to compare. We're a comparative culture. That's why the MJ LeBron comparison will go on forever. That's why LeBron and Kobe will go on forever. It's fun. I like it. It's fun. But I remember
think
that.
the MJ LeBron comparison should keep going forever?
Yeah, because they're the top two ever. So it should go forever because it's going to
I
be.
disagree.
You think it should end at some point?
Yes, because like I just don't understand what we're gaining from like anytime LeBron does something great, it's like, but what would MJ have done? Like I just don't get the point of the comparison and why we can't just say this person is really good and this person is too. Also, if you think LeBron's the greatest and I think MJ's the greatest, that's fine. Like nobody ever enters into a sports argument thinking one thing and leaving like, you're right.
Right.
You've changed my mind. So we're just talking about it for the sake of talking about it, which I get. In a lot of ways, that's what the media does.
Right.
But that I just think is a conversation that is a little bit tired because it happens every single time anything good happens.
But it bridges generations. It's like you telling your war stories of your hero, I'm telling war stories of my hero. So that way, it bridges the generation together. And I think eventually it'll get to the point where you're saying where it's like they're both equally great in totally different ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think it's fun to compare. Like I think it depends on what rules they're playing. Because like the newer
Here we
NBA
go with hand
the
checking.
no hand
Yeah.
checking, no none of that.
People
Like listen,
love to bring up
listen.
hand checking when y'all.
Listen, hand checking, I lived through that 90s era, man. The hand checking was an equalizer. Like nobody could get
How
by
old are you? Is that a
Take a
rude
guess.
question?
That's a wild rude guess. Y'all guess. Take a wild guess in that.
Yeah.
Take a
How old
wild
do we
guess.
think Jeff is? Because I'm confused. I thought
Well,
you were
I
like
can't-
my age.
I might be, I might not be.
How old
If
are
you
you?
could, take a wild guess.
Just
Take a
tell
take
me.
a wild guess.
Well, no, I thought you were like 27.
Wow. You are
How old are you?
are great. I'm not 27. I'm definitely not
I mean,
27.
listen, Jeff was hand checking. Jeff old.
I was out here.
Jeff old.
I was
Jeff
out here.
hand
No, I'm just saying, like, if we're playing by the old rules versus the new rules,
Yeah.
that's different because they were running the triangle versus what they're running now. But I don't think anybody could guard Shaq. But Steph would be giving Derek Fisher fits.
Yeah.
Fits, nightmares. Like, he'd be waking. If what AI did to Ty Lue is nothing compared.
Oh, wait, I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I see the ages coming in, and so someone said 38.
That might be accurate.
You are not.
That might be accurate. One of you definitely got it. And what I see right now, one of you definitely got
You're
it.
36.
Might be.
I'm legitimately shocked by this. I did not think. I mean that it's a compliment. I did
Yeah.
not think that you were that old. I'm not saying you're old. I'm saying that old. Like
See how she's
as a
tripping? You see,
measure.
this is when
As a
when
measure.
you stop and you're just like.
Wow. I mean, when you said you lived, well, I learned something new.
See, I told you.
Learn something new about you.
Oh, that could be a conspiracy theory too. That's actually a big conspiracy
Black don't
theory.
crack.
Like
Is that a conspiracy?
People say
Is that a
I
conspiracy?
mean, you know, I might be living it or I might be faking it. I couldn't tell you.
Well, you know what? I think we covered an array of topics on
A
today's
whole
Let's
lot of
Talk.
topics. A whole lot of topics.
You won't see me for a while. I'm going on vacation, and then it's holiday season. Are they going to see you some this week?
They should see me later on this week. I think tomorrow or Friday. I
Okay.
talk to the voices of God in the booth. But
Yeah.
you know, I do what it says.
You can catch 18-year-old Jeff tomorrow at noon.
18 or 50 or 60-year-old, whichever one it is, you decide. My age is like Prince's symbol.
Thanks for joining.
All right.